Mobile battle station.
Hey, how's it going, universe? Welcome to another episode of Zoobox, a podcast about nonsense, much of which you are about to hear. And yeah, we're here with Dan and Mike. What's going on, boys?
I'm out here in my I feel like I'm in a cave or something.
Dan's on the road right now.
Yeah. It's all right though, you know.
Dan, is that your old room?
No, this is Megan's old room.
Oh, you're in that little one.
Yeah, the one that's between.
Yeah. How come you're not in your old one?
There's no lights. I just walked in there.
Is it awesome still?
No, I mean it's just storage now. That's
Yeah, that was. But hey, think about being a teenager. That's probably the coolest room you could have as a teenager.
Honestly, it was. It was and not.
What
to
do you
mention,
think, Sean?
Has that secret access.
Yeah, it's like it's very close to like a studio apartment type vibe. It was because for people that don't know, it's above my mom's garage, so it's kind of just like this big open room. It was like the bonus room. That's what it's considered in the house plan, you know. And that was our room for many a year.
Yeah.
6 years out for me.
But Sean, if you were a teenager like young Dan was, would that be the best room for you?
Yeah, I think if I was that would be the one that I would want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the insulation sucks. It was cold during the winter and hot during the summer.
Yeah, but Dan, you got to piss out the window. You got the smoke up there. Nobody bothered you. You know what I mean? Like, it was awesome.
It was a ripping time, dude. It was. It was good times. Jeez. No better place to be for the start of the race war. So.
You know, it's kind of crazy, like when you think about it, because we used to smoke up there, and like now we're so far removed from like smoking indoors with people. Dude, that must have been like a disgusting hot box. Because when we went to visit Dan, Ryan and I went to visit Dan, and when it's just two of us in his sunroom, and you have a couple windows open, it's fucking hard. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but Sean, there would be times where it would be me, Dan, you, Justin, all smoking. I remember like all of us being up there.
It must smoking. The fan or something like helped it. Like, I don't know.
Because we were just used to it.
But it's a large space too. I mean, I
used to get headaches.
You always got headaches. You always get headaches.
No, but that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, Michael probably wasn't accustomed to that, so he would
get
a headache.
Day.
Like, so it's probably a very similar experience to like when we were down at Dan's smoking in the sunroom, where you're just like, fuck, this is really gross.
I was accustomed to smoking that many cigarettes, but not having all of it right in my face.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
With that many, because nobody smokes like that, like in their home. Like that's rare.
Now it is.
Yeah, because we live in a time of cowards, Michael. You know?
Yeah, I know. That is BS.
I used to smoke. I smoked in my house in New Ellington.
Yep.
Yeah, I smoked in there.
Okay. But that was before you had a son?
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't smoked inside of a house. I mean, Dan is the closest place I've actually smoked indoors in like.
And you'll never smoke
years.
In your house now.
No.
Yeah.
I don't.
How about you? Dan, you will. One cold day, you're gonna be like, "Fuck it."
Old man. I mean, I think if
morning.
If I got really fucked, man. I used to live in Wyoming, Mike, and I couldn't smoke indoors. You know, I used to have to go out there.
I know, but now you can.
Yeah, I know, but I did it in Alabama, and that was fine. You know, in my old place in Alabama, but you know, I might just resell.
Yeah, you don't want to pop that cork. You don't want to open that door. Like, cause
dangerous.
When we first moved into that place in New Ellington, Sarah and I smoked outside for like 4 months.
Yeah.
And then the first time I did it inside, it was over.
That's that's gonna happen to you, Dan.
I don't think so, man. I mean, the toughest is when we're doing the podcast. That's just because like I can't get up and move.
Dan, you're just gonna light one up one day.
I mean, is it impossible?
Well, hold on, Dan. You used to smoke inside your other place, that little house. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't own the fucking bitch, and I'm not responsible. Like, the worst thing that would have happened is I would have lost my security deposit, but now I might lose value on my house. It's kind of a different ball game, you know?
No, I know that. What I'm saying is, but you, like, you know, you smoked, you know, semi-casually in your house. Like,
yeah, you can get the smoke smell out of your house. It's not like a done...
It's not the smoke smell. It's going to be the yellowing of the walls.
Yep.
You just have to repaint.
Like there are people that like sell used books, right? And one of the criteria is like they have to be from like a smoke-free home. Because smoke really affects like the pages of books, and it really gets in there, and they smell and they yellow fast. And
if you're like a pipe smoker, though, it's more distinguished.
That would be okay.
Your house, Mike.
What?
Oh, you're smoking mine. When are you smoking yours?
No, I have kids. I would smoke in mine.
Oh, right.
No, I might. Not every day, but I might. Right. Actually, no, I wouldn't. That would be fucking. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, but you go out to your like your work shed and smoke it there?
But once that's all finished, I will not.
Okay.
Fair enough.
The only way, maybe I'll put one of those things in when I'm doing it that like filters the air out.
Well, that'd be pretty pricey. Those are expensive.
How much?
A plastic fan that just sucks the air out from the top of the roof. You got to cut a hole in your roof.
Yeah, I know. You lead it up to a vent. It's kind of like it's very similar to like a bathroom fan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. And you just stand below it, just blow it out.
I could do that.
I remember when they changed the laws in restaurants, like up in New Hampshire, and they would have to have like the bar area was like sealed. Because back when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, you would go to a restaurant, the smoking section was just in the back, but you're still like open up to the rest of the restaurant. You're teenagers with their chain smoking cigarettes and eating waffles at Friendly's. So disgusting. Actually, Michael's brother Zachary used to get so pissed at us.
Why?
Because he'd be like, "Why?" He's like, "Why the fuck do you gotta smoke while I'm eating?"
Wasn't he a smoker?
Yes.
So what's wrong with him?
He's just, how he is, dude. He's a bitch. He's a bitch.
I don't know. I guess I missed that boat. That's why when I went to Wyoming and you could smoke in like this place called the Outlaw and the strip club, like it was awesome.
Well, because it was like a private club.
No, you just can.
Okay.
You can just smoke in the building. Not all of them. They're privately owned,
Well, there was one bar around here that you could smoke inside, but they considered it a private club. Like, so you had to actually like pay like a club fee, quote unquote, to go in the door. It would be like $5.
Yeah, that was the Outlaw. It was the same type of thing. Or like, you go to the strip club right down there,
Hey, let me go. Hey, let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to wake up around 6:30, get dressed to play golf, get to the golf course around 8 a.m., 7:30, go and get yourself like a splash of like Gatorade with like vodka and drink a couple of them, maybe rip a few butts, and then play like 18 holes of golf?
Well, do I get to drink beer while I'm playing golf?
Yeah, you get to drink beer, and like you'll drink beer all day, and
I feel like because if I'm ripping like a couple fucking vodkas at 8 o'clock in the morning, like there's no if I stop, I'm just gonna get a headache. Like you kind of just gotta keep feeding it until you're ready to pass
you don't
out.
you keep a buzz going. You don't get like blitz too much.
No,
play golf.
Yeah, which is an athlete's sport. So
Would you do that?
Yeah, probably. If I was on vacation, I was hanging out with the boys, like I'd start my day off with a couple Bloody Marys. Fuck, let's go, dude. That's what I used to do like back in the band days. I used to do that like every Sunday morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love drinking early in the morning like that. Like there's some good drinks.
Yeah, like a Bloody Mary, which is kind of like a meal. You have like a nice thick, spicy Bloody Mary. Maybe grab a mimosa. If you're in the mood for a sweet, you got a sweet tooth, you get yourself a mimosa. It's champagne and orange juice. You scarf down like a burger or something.
Yeah.
Good way to be.
When I went to Hilton Head,
I like getting like coffee too, as well as like, you know what I like to get? I like to get vodka and orange juice.
Yeah, screwdriver.
Yeah, screwdriver. I'll get one of those. I'll get a cup of like cafe, like some kind of like espresso.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get like some kind of like sweet thing from like whether it's like pancakes or something from like the bakery, like whatever restaurant I'm in, like something sweet. And then I'll get some eggs and sausage.
I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah,
I got a question.
What's up?
Why did you ask us that question about the golf course?
Oh no, because I just wanted to see if you guys would actually do something like that. Because I feel like that would be a lot of fun, but I don't know if that's like a normal thing.
I did it in Hilton Head. Like that's what we did. We got there relatively early. It was like 8 a.m. And then you get your cart, you get your stuff, and your whatever you need, and then they have a bar. You can go.
But were you guys boozing there?
Oh yeah, dude. They have people ripping around on carts like $8 beers. Like here you go. And hot dogs. They got like food carts everywhere. But Hilton Head's a really nice. They have really nice golf courses there. Like it was pretty expensive.
So how was that?
It was fun. I would say I would do it sober, like maybe 20 times, so I could actually golf. Because I'm out there, I'm shanking balls and like near houses, and you know what I mean. Like
that's how I am too. But it doesn't matter.
It's frustrating for me because I hate being really, really bad. Like it's annoying because I just want to play. I want to be able to like at least play the game.
I feel you too. I can't play it.
And yeah, it's like there's lines of people waiting on you because you can only hit the ball 5-10 yards at 20 yards.
You got to go to a less crowded one.
Well, yeah, this is it's Hilton Head, man. Like it's a popular.
Yeah, we're like driving range people.
Yeah, laughs.
No, but Sean, no, I'm talking about playing real golf.
Yeah.
But I am going to Top Golf here pretty soon, I think.
Actually, I have a Top Golf right down the street from my house.
Yeah,
right minutes away.
Dude, next time I'm there, we should go.
Well, Ryan said it's only one story, but I'm like, there's no way. It has to be two. Every golf has top deck I've ever been at.
No, I think it's one story. Yeah, it's over. It's like a newer place. Huh?
It's all from so you can only. How can it be called fucking Top Golf?
I don't think it's called Top Golf. It's like this. It's like a different like company. It's like an off-brand. I can't.
So it's Sam's Club Cola. I get it. Not Coke.
I guess so, kind of. I mean, it's supposed to be it's very popular. A lot of people like to go there because you go get food and drinks and you hit the golf balls and you sexually harass a waitress or two.
Yeah. I went to Denver for Top Golf and it was fun. You get out there, you're freaking just ripping them.
We should go. We should go and get blitzed.
Okay, Mike is off. He's like I'm about to settle down. I need to be as messed up as possible.
No, that would be fun.
Just so everybody knows, when you listen to this, no, that's next weekend. Shit. Well, never mind.
Well, actually, we got to figure out when we're recording next week. So.
Yeah, well, I may not be able to. I may have to skip that one.
That's fine. Sean, you're gonna be busy. It's your wedding week. We'll figure it out.
I'll try to, but it definitely won't be Friday.
No, that's what we're saying. Like, so we're gonna do it earlier in the week. We could do it. We could do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like,
talk about it. The fans don't need to know. Let them be surprised.
Yeah.
Make sure you comment. Congratulate Mike in a couple weeks. Make sure you're following it. Make sure you're keeping up to date.
Make sure you go hit our Instagram page up. I'll have documentation of some of what's going on.
Okay, good. Dan, you know what my plan is?
What?
My plan, the day of the wedding, I plan on hitting a couple screwdrivers.
Oh. What time are you actually getting married?
Like 4:00.
Okay, so yeah, you can have a couple in the morning, a couple in the afternoon. You'll be nice and loose.
Yeah, that's what my plan is.
Just stay away from the Delta 8, for a couple hours before. You can do it in the morning. Just be careful though. You might need a nap. I
wouldn't risk it.
I got the Delta 8 down to a science.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he needs to do.
Dude, I don't know what's going on because I don't know if it's just like my body or whatever, dude. But like, I have been having such like crazy I get really high right now, like really high, even off of just like one.
Well, that's why, Sean, I don't do it like you guys. Like I'll take a half of one.
Okay.
Or sometimes I'll even take a quarter of a one.
Like I popped one the other day. It lasted like 7 hours.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore because of that reason. but if I take like a quarter or a half, it just kind of like gets me into like a mood where my mind starts thinking a little different, and I like it.
Gotcha. I got you.
The move, dude. Instead of popping a hole, you just take a little bit of one, and you're.
That's what I do, and I'm just like, I can function. Everything's good.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean, I do that like to go to jujitsu.
Yeah.
Well, I could see that. Yeah.
But I'm like doing athletic things, like rolling around.
All it does is kind of just loosen you up a little bit. You're just kind of loosey goosey, you know?
Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, but I don't like go so hard with it. I just do a little bit.
Well, I don't really go that hard very often either. Like, but I mean, I can still function fine. I'm still there.
No,
If I take 2 or 3 of them, dude, like, no, I'm hitting the couch. I got to put a movie on and like just keep my mouth shut. Like,
why you take that many at one time?
And then just be like,
I've never even attempted that.
Oh, it's cool.
I feel like movies are way more intense. And like things are way more intense when I'm watching. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's really upset. This guy is super upset right now. Like I don't even think about why he's upset. I was like, this guy is really upset.
Yeah, and what's the most you ever taken?
Of the good stuff, I've taken like 3.
How was it?
Ones like koi. Yeah, dude. I mean, dude. Yeah, you're fucking. You don't want to do shit. Like,
I've never done that.
Like you don't even want to watch YouTube because it takes too much effort to like do stuff. You're like, I don't even want to partake in this minuscule experience. I want to be a part of a bigger thing. So put on, Fast and Furious 8. With Delta 8, it's the AAA level. No, it's a good time. I enjoy movies. Like when I watched Mr. Smith Goes to Washington once again for like the month. This is a month in a row, basically, that I've brought this movie up. I was fucking crying, man. I was in it. I was living. I was with him. I was with you, Mr. Smith. I was in that moment being like, God damn, Arkansas is beautiful.
Oh, wow. I want to go there.
I want to go there. Yeah, you're like sitting there. You're like, no, dude. You're just like, this guy loves America. And you just start tearing up. And then you just go to YouTube after the movie and you're like, race war. And you're like, dude, come on, man. I just want to be in Mr. Smith land, dude. Just want to be hanging out. It kind of makes me like how there's a particular moment where he basically beats the crap out of these journalists. And it's so funny that he's a senator, like beating the crap out of these journalists for like making them look bad. And it was like not really a big deal, I guess, in that time. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's a movie.
No, it is a movie, but like even like if they showed that today, like it'd be like, oh, that's ridiculous.
If somebody made like a meme and they put Donald Trump's head
on Mr.
like,
Smith,
like every journalist in the country would hunt down whoever made that meme and demand that they be arrested.
Really?
You want to know what happened?
I'm exaggerating.
It's actually something kind of crazy happened in my home state, my now home state, Huntsville, Alabama, I believe it was, which is about an hour and a half. It's like where the VA hospital is near me. So I've been there a few times. A police officer got fired for donating $25 to the Kyle Rittenhouse Defense Fund.
Yeah, well, is that where that was going down? Was that Huntsville? There was the one I heard of. I mean, I think everybody on that list got doxxed, but because there was a guy who was an EMT, where a journalist went to his house to ask him why he donated $10 to the Kyle Rittenhouse Defense Fund. Like, and then I think that guy got in trouble, and his coworkers were demanding that he resign.
I didn't see any of that. But
that's actual enemy of the people stuff. Like that's actual evil, gross shit for a journalist for over $10 to a defense fund with a case that is not obvious. At least, I mean, it seems obvious to us because we've seen it so much. We've looked at it so closely, but like, it's ridiculous.
Do you think he's innocent or guilty?
I think he's innocent. I think it's a pretty clear, almost pretty open and shut case once they actually put all the timeline together and they put but we don't live in a climate where that's going to happen. But I think, at least, who knows though? Who the fuck knows? I think if anything, the Chauvin trial has showed us that, I think I predicted this a couple weeks ago. I said that dude will not get justice. Like this is the tempers are too hot. Temperature's too hot.
Yeah, no. And that kid's gonna get totally screwed.
He could get fucked over. He could, because the jury is just not going to have the integrity to do the right thing. But
I don't even know if it's integrity. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not going to get into a semantic argument, but I'm just saying, like, the backbone, the intestinal fortitude, to me, you know what I mean? Because it's like integrity. I mean, wouldn't you agree that, like, they would think it's like, oh, well, I know what the right thing is? I guess you're not wrong. I just think it's like integrity seems like it's like their job, you know? Like, they
no,
do this.
integrity is like, it's a synonym for like backbone,
Yeah.
spine,
Yeah.
like whatever. You have to be able to stand up for what is right and do the right thing.
Right.
Like, you know, I mean, the Chauvin case, I thought like maybe he would get manslaughter. I thought that was like, if he was going to get convicted of something, I thought that was the reasonable one. Once you start getting into murder 2 and murder 3,
No,
or murder 2, like I was like kind of dumbfounded when they were reading I was like, really? Really? But this is another thing. This is a trap, guys. Like, and this is something to keep in mind in the future. This is a good lesson. People on YouTube and prognosticators have no fucking idea what they're talking about. Those people are very online. They're in a bubble. Because I went back over the weekend because I knew we would talk about this, because I knew they were doing their final arguments. So I knew we would talk about it at some point. So I started going back through some of the pundits and some of the people that were talking about it. There was a couple people that were like, you know, of the more conservative persuasion. They're like, no, the prosecutors are doing a much better job than people are saying. They're, because you have to understand what they're trying to prove. Like, well, and it was like, did he cause him to die? Like, that was, it's not, all the other factors almost didn't matter. It was just like, did him putting him in that situation cause his death? And so obviously the jury found that to be, well, to some degree true. I guess you could talk about the jury intimidation. There's a chance it could get a mistrial. But like, if you only watch like one side of the political spectrum in terms of like punditry and stuff, you would have thought this was a slam dunk for the defense. I mean, that's the way they were talking about it. That's like, they were very kind of forward about that. And I think when you start really looking at people that are just a little bit more sober minded, like some of the lawyers, like that Rekieta Law guy, a guy who does that nightly show at midnight or whatever. He's apparently, I didn't know because I wasn't really paying attention to his commentary, but he's been saying for a couple of weeks, he's like, this is not what you guys think it is. And people should really prepare for a different verdict than you think. And it was definitely a moment, because I got caught up in that too. I was like, oh, look, you know, the defense is calling the same witnesses the prosecution did because the prosecution is doing such a bad job. And like, clearly not, to a certain degree. Like I said, I don't think that this was obviously not a good way for this process to happen. It wasn't. Like, that case should never have happened in Minneapolis. Number one, that jury should have been sequestered immediately. Like, there's so many factors that were just completely fucked. And I think by the time the judge understood or cared to like fucking actually look at it realistically, it was too late.
Okay, but if they did that, they would have had more riots.
If they did what? Sequester the jury and stuff?
Yeah.
The case?
Yeah. They had to find him guilty. There was no innocent. They can't do that, Sean.
Well, that's what we're saying. That there's political pressure.
Yeah. Oh, obviously.
To find him guilty on all counts, so that people, because that's the rhetoric that's been coming out the past week. You got like Maxine Waters, then Joe Biden steps in. He's like, well, I'm only saying this because they've been sequestered. Motherfucker, they have cell phones. Like, give me a break.
No, they don't. Not when you're sequestered. You can't have a cell phone.
That's not what. Well, I was told that it was like, because it was not like a sequestering in the traditional sense, and that they were not like put in a room somewhere, or like what is that what happened?
So after they were put in as far as I know, the way it works, they put you in a hotel. You're allowed one phone call a day that is monitored by the state or like whoever. Mm-hmm. Like, it's monitored, and that's it. And they couldn't watch anything but like movies, like on like, and it was all covered by the state, like, you know.
Well, that's what the way that is 100% what it's supposed to be. Because if you go back and look at the OJ trial, I think the Rodney King trial as well, those things were sequestered. I mean, the OJ trial, that jury was sequestered for 265 days.
Holy crap! Are you kidding?
And they were losing their fucking minds. They couldn't wait to get out of there. Like, so there's a flip side also to sequestering the jury.
Like, you're like,
well, for that long.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, what's your take, Dan? Like, what do you think?
I think the law is complicated, and there's always going to be different opinions, about how they perceive someone is doing well or not well. I think the defense gave the only case they could make that was reasonable. I do not believe the prosecution proved second degree. I don't believe the prosecution got proved third degree beyond a reasonable doubt. I do believe manslaughter is an argument that could be made but there's also, our judicial system is in such dire straits, mainly due to the fact this. One, he should have sequestered the jury right from the get-go. I agree. Second, this guy, the prosecutor, was a civil rights attorney, made countless errors as far as like prosecutorial terms. He at the end, he kept calling basically the defense lawyers liars and making up stories, which you're not supposed to do. It's more, and the judge even said, stop doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Big thing. The judge should have called a mistrial with Maxine Waters thing. They should have called a mistrial. They were not sequestered when that happened. And that is her overstepping her constitutional bounds. But no, he said, we're going to push through. And so you can appeal it. He literally said, you have a chance to appeal it. Mm-hmm. If you're like, I'm not a judge, I don't know. Second thing, when the prosecution literally asked the question that the judge asked about the carbon monoxide in his blood, the judge literally told him before that, I will call a mistrial. And they did it anyway. And then nothing happened. This guy has no integrity, whatever.
Because he's fallen. I think he's falling prey or victim or whatever you want to call it to the same thing that we could assume or we could surmise that the jury was, right. There is so much pressure going on. I mean, it's a powder keg. If you don't get they were being told, if you don't deliver the verdict we want, we're going to burn the city to the ground.
I know.
That's so fucking crazy. I mean, you got to put yourself in that situation. I have a great deal of empathy for those people. But still at the same time, like, you were there to do a job. But dude, it gets even worse though, Dan, because the way what was it, the Minneapolis Tribune or something like that, almost like kind of sort of doxing them, giving physical descriptions of all the jurors, and these are people that live there. This is not you know what I'm saying? Like, not a good situation for anybody.
And this is where, he should have perjury. He should have, you can arrest journalists for doing things that are against the court, technically. You could not arrest, but you could at least have someone talk to them.
Well, they were doing scumfuck stuff because they're riding a line on purpose. They knew what they were doing.
I know. We all know. I mean, I get it, but I just think I think Chauvin? Listen, he's guilty. There is no way to getting around that. He is guilty at all charges. That's the way our system is set up, and he's going to go through an appeals process. And I think he has. If he can make it out of prison and not be killed while serving in prison, he's going to be on solitary confinement for his entire, there's no way he can't be put in main pop. He'll be killed instantly.
No, he can in 5 years.
Maybe, maybe anything's possible, but they would have to move him to an area where nobody really knows what happened or something, some small ass.
Yeah, but then 5-10 years down the road, people are going to forget.
Yeah, I know, but that's a long time.
You also you have to imagine, though. I mean, I don't know, though. I don't know how people are. I mean, but you would have to imagine maybe that the guards, the fellow officers, might have his back. I don't know. I mean,
I maybe
because this is such a crazy case, dude. I don't know Chauvin. I don't know if he's a good guy, if he's a bad guy, if he's racist, whatever. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, that's not what he's being put on trial for.
No, but that's what I'm saying is I don't think he was kind of within the bounds of what he thought he was supposed to do. And I don't, and I don't know what the fuck we're talking about when we're just if this is a police policy problem, a procedure problem that they have or that people don't like, well, then I guess you have to address it. Not sacrifice some dude so that your city doesn't burn, because that's what it feels like. It feels like a little bit like of a sacrificial lamb. And this is the most disgusting thing. There's so many of these right-wing pundits, these Fox fuckheads and stuff like that that are like, I'm glad that he got guilty. Dude, what's his name? Greg Gutfeld.
Yeah, but he wasn't saying that like literally.
No, he was saying, I'm glad. Whether he said, I don't care if he's guilty. There's a whole. I listened to the whole thing.
So did I, but that's not what, in my opinion, what he was talking about. Selfishly, he was saying it. He wasn't saying it practically.
That's called being spineless. Because that dude didn't want to fucking he wants somebody to just get the fucking screws put to them so that he doesn't suffer for it.
That's not what he's saying. He didn't mean it. I personally don't think he. I mean, how would you feel if you lived in that town? You'd be like, oh my god, like thank God, like in a way.
I can understand like having a sense of relief if you thought that might happen where you live. Yeah. I can completely understand that. So maybe he expressed it like messily or something like that, and that's fair.
I think he was saying that in like, you know what, man, I hate to say this, but I'm kind of glad that like I don't have to worry about my city being burned down tonight. And that is and even then people are saying it wasn't good enough. This isn't justice. This is accountability. Or
maybe these like very wealthy television personalities should move the fuck out of places where things like that happen because it already happened. They knew it's going to happen again.
I'm not going from my $1 million penthouse. Are you insane? I have security. I have private security. They're not going to burn down my building.
I mean, like I get that, and like maybe it's a messy statement, but when I heard that, I was like, it was just so gross. And he's not the only one. And I can't remember. I was throwing some notes together. I don't know where the fuck they are, but like, because I knew we were going to talk about this, whether it was the podcast or we did a live thing or whatever. But like, I don't know. I think like I'm not an expert, and I'm not a law expert, but it seems like that dude got the book thrown at him unfairly, and he's probably. I'll be surprised if he's alive in 2 years.
All right, Sean, what do you think they should have done then?
What do you mean?
Okay, if
heard the case and came up with a verdict that was like just. Okay, that's subjective. It's subjective, right?
And then what happens if the city burns down?
I guess you gotta actually hold some of these people fucking accountable. You're gonna have to start doing that.
What should have happened, and I agree with Tim Pool on this point. Every police officer should resign in these cities and be like, we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to sit here and be your scapegoat because the laws you write and the policies you want us to enforce are causing some of these interactions to go awry. Or these are the things that you want us to come and arrest people for. I don't know what you want from me. Like, I would be resigning en masse. And I think give the people what they voted for. They voted for these people.
Well, I know. I mean, it is. I understand the point, and I can even appreciate the point to a certain extent.
Have you ever seen Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon? Okay.
Yeah.
Optimus
Prime executes the bad guy, execution style. He's begging for his life, and he says, remember? No, I know what you're talking about because I used to freak out. Not freak out. I used to read about it. I'd be like, so the Transformers. They come up against some adversity, so they're like, fine, we'll fuck off. And then they wait until everything gets really bad and destroys, and then they come back. Well, I understand that. There is no easy solution because I could tell you right now, if I was a cop in Minneapolis, I would have fucking resigned because it's the threshold for me getting fucked over is just too high. Fucking high.
I like the Columbus, Ohio shooting.
Or too low, rather.
With the 16-year-old. It's clear. It's cut. This is clear cut, justified shooting. Like there's nothing more clear.
She's about to stab somebody.
She's literally, and she might have been the one to call 911, but at that moment, she was not the victim. She was not running. She was the aggressor with the deadly weapon, and the officer had he tried to verbally say something as like it was so spontaneous in the moment. He's like,
"Hey, it happened so fast."
Yeah, and then he shot her 4 times. Awful tragedy. It's tragic in every way. A young life taken. But I was seeing people on Twitter going, teenagers have been having knife fights for eons.
I know.
And we don't need the police.
Dude, I saw that. I saw those tweets, and there were a bunch of people like, yeah, dude. I'm like, are you fucking serious? You think like teenagers just running around having knife fights? Like, no, dude.
Where was this happening?
Oh, in Columbus, Ohio, and now
the teenagers knife fighting.
Columbus, Ohio.
Well, no,
that happens there quite often.
No.
Wow.
No, people are trying to
No,
rationalize.
I'm asking Dan, where did that take place where teenagers would fight with knives?
No,
Well,
that's what
I guess.
people are saying. That's what
I
people are trying.
know.
People are trying
I'm
to
being
rationalize.
sarcastic.
Oh,
He's
okay.
being sarcastic. Jesus, Sean, get a book and open it and look up sarcasm. No, I'm
Fair
kidding.
enough.
No, I think this is one of those, like, did you see what LeBron James did?
Yeah, he deleted it, but yeah.
So what did he do?
God, I
Tell me.
reported him immediately. So what he did, so this officer, very long story short, officer responds on to a 911 call of someone getting basically assaulted or something. So he responds, he gets out of the car, and this is all within the span of like 10 seconds at the most. That's like a long, I would say 10 seconds. Like, he gets out of the car. This woman gets like pushed. She falls on the ground. This other gentleman walks up, tries to kick and kicks this girl in the head.
Yep.
And this is all like really fast, dude. This is like crazy fast. And the girl that got knocked down to the ground, she gets up and she chases this woman, another teenage girl, and she's coming at her like this,
with
like full on about to just put, and she was getting pushed up against a car. So the chick is up there, like got her hands up, and the attacker has a knife, like clearly visible, going to stab her, and the cop just drops her.
And thank God they had. This is why I always advocate for body cam footage, because it keeps everybody safe. Because the people that were there fucking lied about what happened.
Yeah,
they said that she had dropped the knife like clearly and distinctly, and she would stop fighting. Like, no, that's not what happened. Like Dan said, it's like 10 seconds. Like, it is life or death for that other person. Like, the person that was being attacked, I don't know the circumstances surrounding it. I don't know what all these fucking grown-ass adults are doing hanging out while a bunch of teenagers are attacking each other with fucking knives where they have to call the police. And this was actually in, like, kind of looked like a nicer neighborhood, too.
Okay, and to be frank, this was a knife attack, not a knife fight. She's
knife
the only one that, I'm just saying, because I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, I'm being hyperbolic.
No, I know, but I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, this is like a knife, fight." I'm like, no, what are you talking about, dude? Like this? No, she was being attacked. And then one of the guy that kicked this other teenager in the fucking face and the head is there. Oh my God, why did you shoot her? She's a kid. I'm like, you just kicked the teenager in the freaking head.
Well, you might have been just trying to stop her if she was like running around with a knife. I mean, fuck.
I have no idea. But the ridiculous things, and I've been not arguing with people on Twitter, and she's like, "Oh, stand your ground, state." I'm like, "Yeah, you say that now, but now you're okay with it."
You have all these fucking Karens out there being like, "And this happened in a rural state. I don't know a kid that doesn't have a knife." Like, what are kids out there stabbing each other? Is this an epidemic in the Midwest, in the middle of America? Are kids just out there stabbing each other? Like, no.
Is this the West Side Story, dude? Greasers versus the Socs, bro.
I guess.
This is the Outsiders.
But it's just like that like last time we talked, that teenager, in the alley. It's just like, where are their fucking parents? There's so many failures that are the tragedy starts way before this event takes place, because you're like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on in these families in these neighborhoods where this is acceptable behavior? Fucking AOC saying like, oh, the biggest tragedy is that this kid should be being tucked in by his mother tonight, and then he won't be because he's dead. It's like, well, maybe she should have thought of that when he was disappeared for 5 days and was fucking pointing guns at people in the street. Like, what the fuck?
I think this is really, they will hold on to anything, and these people are not honest, and you don't give it. And this is what happens when you give into the mob. And in my opinion, I think this is a little conspiratorial, but I believe they are wanting these people to really get powerful and then really make like a full-on assault. And then the government will have a whole right to declare a national emergency, authoritarian edict, and come down and squash everybody that goes against them.
How did this AOC lady get so popular?
Because she's young. She's young. She's passively attractive. Like,
passively, I would let her smother me with them titties, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, Dan, that's not a high bar. I'm serious.
But why is everyone putting so much weight into her words?
She's just popular, man. She's like a sensation. She's like Ron DeSantis or Holly on the right, or
she's drunk on it. She's drunk on Instagram.
Is she like a Candace Owens?
Yes.
Actually, she kind of is like a Candace Owens, except she has real institutional power.
How does she have power?
To a certain degree, because she's
a House
How the fuck does she become that?
She got elected. That's
how
it goes.
She ran against an incumbent who wasn't who's just kind of he had just kind of had the position forever. She was actually kind of a creation. The people involved with the Young Turks were involved with the Justice Democrats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she was kind of from a family.
She was kind of picked to kind of be a poster child for this movement. They put a lot of money and they pushed her really hard. And you got to remember, she gets elected. It's a very I don't know what you call it. Very progressive liberal place. Not just liberal, but progressive, nutty progressive people. It's all rich white kids and shit. Brooklyn, it's been completely gentrified.
I see.
But she was not supposed to win, but she did win, and that was a big surprise. Her job before that was a bartender, which I don't have a problem with. We should have more normal people in government.
No, 100%. But she was artificially pushed into a position.
See, that's what I was wondering.
But just like Obama, these are not organic things that happen. These people are chosen. They're chosen.
They're courted. And they're allowed to. It's is DeSantis? They've been speaking about now. Haley. No, I hope Nikki Haley. She's fallen though because she's too pro-war. They don't the new Republican Party is not pro-war. So I would say the majority of the youth aren't. And
the coming generation is not. No.
These people are leftist, basically, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. As what you would think a leftist is, they have the same policies. Climate change and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, man. We're in some weird times, bro. It's going to get weird.
I don't this next couple of years. I mean, some of these big cases, this Kyle Rittenhouse thing, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I don't know. Because if Kyle Rittenhouse, say he's found guilty or whatever to pacify the mob, kind of we could make the argument some of that happened with Chauvin. Do you think right-wing people are gonna? Do you think that's when they start being fuck it, we're gonna?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because if it works for the left-wing mob, the right-wing mob will start to form more.
But they'll drop the hammer on them.
But that's what they're waiting for. They're baiting.
I know.
They're baiting, because then they can have an excuse for taking away guns and then pushing red flag laws even harder and all these things. And I hope they don't fall for the trap. Me too. But there is going to be a point where people are going to have to defend themselves. If you can't call the police, you can't do this. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a very tenuous time right now. It's just not it really makes me uneasy. It's made me second or think twice about having another kid. I'm just I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 years. And I don't allowing these kind of outside factors controlling those kind of decisions. But at the same time, you have to take some personal responsibility for.
You're probably going to raise a badass because he's going to grow up in some tough times.
Maybe. Hopefully we're a little bit insulated, where we live. We're a little bit insulated. So
I disagree. But, I think you're right in the heart of it, dude. In the heart of it. You're right in the dead center, dude. I'm not protected either. Mike's screwed. He's in Florida.
No, he's good. He's good in Florida. He's good.
No, dude, they're gonna come for there first, man.
Why is he in Florida? He's in
hillbilly.
Yeah, I'm around. People that are. I don't know. I think it's gonna be. It's just weird. That's weird.
Well, okay. I have a question. Do you feel like the judicial system is not being politically motivated?
No, it is.
Okay. Do you think that?
That's why I'm saying if I go to court, I want to go to court in the town that I live in.
Yes, I mean, yeah, you might not have that choice, but
well, they better let me have that choice because I don't want to go in a big city.
Well, I mean, no, they won't. No, it's usually going to be in your district, whatever your court district is. So you're fine. You're fine. You should be fine.
So when GameStop finally catches you stealing from them, I'm sure.
But you can't trust the judicial system. The political system is completely jacked up. We don't really have any true people.
I would not want to be in court right now.
Well, for certain crimes, definitely not.
Yeah,
but if you're
a high profile.
If you're Antifa, yeah, you're good. You can't trust the judicial system. Can't trust the political system. Our federal government is trash. Most state governments are giving in to these people. But Florida just passed anti-riot law, which is already illegal, but they made it a lot more punitive, a lot more time. But the thing is, now they have another law in the books where the next guy in charge can decide that you're a rioter. Like, they can just, it gives more power to the state. And it's the problem is how many laws we have.
No, I agree with you. Actually, that's a great point, because it's just because of who's in control that people can feel a sense of security. But as soon as that gets flipped and somebody else who doesn't like, more like right-leaning people or whatever, and they want to go out and protest, they want to do their things, they'll criminalize them because now they can. Now they have the pretext to. Like you said, Dan, it's just like making more complicated laws and trying to weave some fucking web.
It's like taxes.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
So damn complicated.
Yeah, well, that's why they have to have experts, and that's why we have to have lawyers. And not saying the law should probably be slow and complicated, and there should be a lot.
Yeah, no, there should just taxes should be a lot easier than what it is.
No, well, I mean, for most people, it's pretty simple, but you have a more complicated, like, just because of how you live your life and like how you make money and do. Like, yours is gonna be more complicated than mine, or like.
No, I make mine very simple, but technically, I'm supposed to make it a lot more complicated.
Well, you keep doing what you're doing as long as you haven't been audited. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that's the last thing you should say about that.
Yeah.
Whatever your situation is.
But no, I've been doing everything right. I have records, but like it's just a little bit different.
Of course you are, Michael. Of course
it's streamlined.
You are.
Mike's efficient. He's making it easier for the IRS to get his money, and that's good.
Yes.
I think the laws are always going to be the issue, and this is where police have to start standing up for themselves and leaving these.
They're not going to. Police don't care about that.
No, I think.
No, police, Dan. They're gonna lose some, but some people love that power, man. They're not gonna give that up.
Well, that's the thing. Most of the people that are gonna resign and stuff are probably your good cops.
Maybe
that are smart enough to get out of Dodge and be like, well, I don't want to be like unfairly punished for, following.
Yeah, do you know what they can do in Canada?
What do they do in Canada?
If they pull you over, they can ask you where you're going, and you have to tell them from COVID.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then the chief was like, "Oh, we're not going to enforce this." And then all of a sudden, they got all these complaints of cops having little power trips, pulling people over, like interrogating people.
I agree, man. I'm not saying that. Like, that's the thing, though, is if enough of them do it, it's social pressure. It's just like anything else, man. Like, if all the cops to stop showing up, the pressure from the community would be so great on the politicians, they would have to like figure something out. And like the governor should just what happens if all the police is like, we're not doing it until you.
Okay, but what are all these cops gonna do for jobs, money, paycheck?
Listen, you're gonna act like the fucking founding fathers didn't have to sacrifice comforts and sacrifice.
I know, but you're talking about like a lot of people, and like that's a huge movement.
Yeah.
What would they do for food and rent?
They would have to. We'll start a fund, just like they did to bail out freaking people. We can have the American people still help them. I don't know. It would be corrupt.
They'll just shut down whatever. They won't allow you to. PayPal will be like no. Stripe will be like no.
Yeah.
And then Dan, what if you're like thinking about doing it, but you're like, man, I don't know if these guys everyone's gonna do it. So at the last minute you start chickening out, and then you don't do it, and then a bunch of people are like,
it requires a unified front. And if the police union was worth a fuck, this would be their greatest cause. But for some reason, awful fucking quiet. Weird.
Well, I think you have to ask yourself, anything that is worth doing usually takes some sort of courage, some sort of risk. And I'm not saying it would be easy. I have plenty of friends that are police officers, and it's not something that. But like, I feel like if you're going to be abused,
why aren't they doing it now then?
That's a question, dude. That is
but see now that we're finally starting to see some weird results come out. Like this all stuff's been in flux for a couple years, right? It's kind of been a nebulous space. We're not really sure what the terms are going to be, but now, I mean, this Chauvin thing, kind of a tipping point, I think, probably in a lot of cops' minds, because, like we said, like probably manslaughter. It seemed like my unprofessional, uninformed opinion, but like, but that situation is not a clear-cut one, and that is obviously was an emotional verdict. So, like, why would anybody trust that? Like, why? Why would they trust it?
Why would you respond to certain calls?
Exactly. Why do you want to go? Why do you want to go into a bad neighborhood and do anything? Because like, why? Like you got a dude who's fucking geeked out on fucking drugs that dies during an arrest while he's resisting arrest. There's all this stuff that leads up to it, and suddenly people just don't give a shit. Like that never happened. Like it's so strange to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. There he is. Is that your?
It's my race 4 llama. It's a non-binary, gender neutral, intersex. It's pretty cool.
No, but the people that are going to get fucked over from this, for having kind of skittish beliefs, not wanting to go in these places, is minority communities. They're the ones that are going to be most negatively affected.
What needs to happen, and this is the only way, you have people go out en masse. I think resign could be one, but where are the people standing up for the police too? But this is the problem. This is the issue. I don't fucking blame anyone not going to defend the police when they were the ones that are saying you can't have your business open, getting fines from the state. They've been enforcing a lot of these bullshit things that like are people like it. I don't blame them. They've lost credibility from both sides.
It's a perfect storm. It's a confluence of events that this year, this pandemic did not help, right? Because like you said, it created this another adversarial layer people feel about police. Yep, just your average person feels.
Yeah.
And which is not good. But and then also on the flip side of that, like if you were to organize like a pro-police rally or something like that, you're probably going to get doxxed. You're probably going to have your life fucking ruined. You're going to have journalists calling you a terrorist and a racist. Like,
why is that so crazy that people do that?
I mean, dude, people donated to a kid's defense fund for his lawyer, and they doxed those fucking people, and then journalists started going to their houses. I mean, like, fucking clown world. Completely inappropriate.
Well, and the thing,
like you can't have an opinion that maybe this kid is innocent and I want to support his legal defense fund without being hassled about it. That's a turning point, man. That's like blacklist. That's communist, fasci, authoritarian, gross shit.
Sean, we've been here again before, baby, and we made it through. We've been there before. They did the same thing with the blacklist in Hollywood, and yes, Michael, they did. They literally.
Not the same.
So the blacklist in Hollywood is
not the same.
It's much way different than your average citizen. We were talking about people that, like in a specific class, they were like, writers. They were being accused of creating. What I'm saying is they're being accused of creating propaganda against the United States. Like that was the accusation. So I don't think it was fair. McCarthyism is not something I agree with. Or
but you're gonna act like the federal government didn't investigate civilians. Like I bet they did. I bet they were all over that shit.
I'm not saying that they didn't, but I don't think that's the same thing as people that
the weather underground, bro.
And this whole COVID thing's a whole new ball game here, buddy.
No, I agree, but the problem I have is like how Twitter's response, which I don't know why I would trust them. They say because it's hacked material and they won't take it down, which is just another bias to them. But
what?
Yeah, because like it's hacked material. It was a hacked list. It was like stolen and or given.
Yeah, the donor list. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not meant to be released. It's private information like that. Has their email address, their full name.
But why wouldn't they take it down?
Because they don't care. If they don't care, it's hurting. It's not hurting their side. They lean to one side. There's no doubt about that.
Well, that should show you right there, because that's going to put people in direct danger. Possibly.
The Hunter Biden story.
I mean, dude, we're talking about over fucking $10, $20. That's insane, dude. Imagine if a fucking journalist showed up to your house to ask you why you gave $10 to a legal fucking defense fund. That and shows the front of your house on television.
And what would you do? Punch him in the face?
Dude, you'd go to jail. You know what? And that's another fucking problem, because you would get arrested. Fucking
why?
That guy's because that's just what would happen. You know it would.
Well,
wait, he's filming me on my own property. That's not right.
Well, you can.
Well, a lot of states have. It depends on the state you're in, I guess.
No, they can film you from the street. They can film you. They would have the camera on the street, and the guy walk up to your property.
And that's exactly what happened.
You cannot be trespassed until you're told to leave. Then you can be trespassed.
And that's
what if I have a trespassing sign, Dan?
You might be okay. Depends on the state.
I used to have them, but then I took them down.
You better get it back up. And if you're donating to
they just kind of look trashy. That's why I took them down.
Yeah.
You should be like a mean dog on premises.
I have like every 8 feet on my fence.
I don't know, man.
The big yellow ones.
I think it is a line that is being crossed, and they'll be sued or something, you know. Like, and the thing is, they got rid of Project Veritas on Twitter for doing the same thing. They banned them for showing that guy's front house while blurring out the address, like the numbers and everything. And then James O'Keefe got kicked off for no reason for having bot accounts. Dude, this is an all-out intellectual war. Go to frankspeech.com. Mike Lindell's.
Mike Lindell, the guy from My Pillow's new social media site. Although he doesn't let you swear, there's a ton of rules actually.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true.
I thought
I have no idea.
I could have sworn I saw a clip of him talking about it on like OAN or something.
Maybe, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going to use it. Probably it might for fun. Maybe just going like Jesus sucks or something. Jesus is a stinky homeless person.
Whatever.
Like, you know,
the only time I ever use Parler is to let people know that if a male movie star has showed dong in a movie.
That's all you need.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I say like, you know, say what you want about Michael Fassbender, but in the film Shame, directed by whoever it was directed by, the dude hangs some major dong.
Major dong.
Well,
still there. Free speech is alive.
Do you give him the movie?
Do I what?
Do you give him the time? Like the time in the movie?
No. I want people to experience the whole thing, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just I don't know, man. Mike's over here freezing. Looks like were you watching Mortal Kombat earlier? And you saw Sub-Zero? What's going on here?
Why?
I'm just kidding. You're just frozen on the screen.
Oh. No, I'm ready for Mortal Kombat.
Oh, the new one's coming. The new trailer looked like okay. The movie clip.
It drops.
I'm gonna watch it.
Drops Friday.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a movie I actually want to see in the theater. It's in the theater. I know, new movie. It's called In the Earth. It's got a good director. Guy who directed Kill List. I'm trying to remember his name. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Kill List. Ben Wheatley. Good director.
Not to be confused with Ben Whiteley.
No,
Who's
different guy.
He's a director. I just don't know. I'm just making shit up. Because white bread, anyway. No, I haven't heard of it. It looks like it's cool.
Did you just hear Michael's dismissive? Like, oh, nice try. Swing and a miss.
Turn your camera on and off because you're just frozen in this really dumb looking position. You look like you're stoned.
Is that better?
That's better. There he is. There's the man.
Am I back?
You're back, dude.
I'm back.
No, dude, I don't know, man. I haven't really thought of any movies to watch. Just been watching the Tim Poolness. I always recommend. He has some pretty interesting people on. Go to Timcast IRL and timcast.com, and just give it a shot. You know, he put up a video of him and this like BMX guy, and it got age restricted.
Why?
Because I don't know, they just got age restricted, and they weren't swearing or really anything. They were just doing tricks in roller skates and bikes and.
Well, it's deviant behavior, Dan. That's like gang behavior. I mean, and
someone said just make this up.
No, I went to the video. We tried to watch it because I saw it pop up.
Because he seems like he makes a lot of things up, but it's because this doesn't happen to nobody else.
That's not true. That happens all the time. And
I don't ever hear about it.
He's one of Mike. Mike? You ask us to give us updates about shit that goes on in the world all the time. What makes you think that you would know what's going on in the YouTube?
Because I watch YouTube.
Mike, move your camera, dude. You look like I see a nipple. Okay. No, not down. Move it to your other side.
All right.
There he is. You know why Adidas is a god. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, he's a Greek or Roman god. If you didn't know.
No, I did not know. Dan, are you ready for the fight?
What, are you talking about on Saturday? Yeah. We're all going over to Ryan to watch it. Sean, you're welcome to come, but you're probably hanging out with the wifey.
Yeah, I got to hang out with Sarah. It's her birthday weekend. That's why I couldn't record on Friday. It's her birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you, Solomon, and Ryan?
Yep. Ryan's buying the fight.
Chicken wings?
Yep. Beer.
Chicken wings, bro?
Cigars.
Yeah?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude, we're going to be hanging out, man. Where you at, dog? Where you at, Florida?
I'm just gonna be at my house watching it.
On your little phone while we watch it on like a 70-inch flat screen.
No, I'll watch it on my computer.
Same thing.
You guys should Skype him and just have your camera pointed at the TV so you just watch it.
I've done that for Michael before. I've sat there.
Yeah, we'll have to do that again.
And he could be like in the room with you guys because you could just point it.
Oh, speaking of, so Mike and I, we watched Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. So we get on right after the podcast. We're like, okay, cool, man. Let's put it on. So we put it on, and we're, there's one little fight, right? It was a little fight. Like it must be the prelims, and we're watching it, and this woman comes out to perform. I'm like, okay, song, maybe the second song comes, the third, the fourth, the fifth. I'm like, dude, this is like 30 minutes, and then we're like, oh, thank God it's over. And then you know who gets up there? Fucking some other guy with a guitar, and then that goes on like Doja Cat for another 20 minutes. And you know who gets up next? And Sean, like, you gotta think, it's already 10 o'clock by the time this is going on. So we're like, I'm getting irritated. And then you see like Snoop Dogg, then Ice Cube, and then all these other guys. They just start going in a row. They start having rap battle stuff. Weird. It was awful. It was this awful experience. Then you got some other guy. Then you got Justin Bieber. He was an hour and a half of music.
No, more. It felt like 3 hours.
Dude, it was at least an hour and a half, though.
Like, with no fighting in between. It was just like
no fighting.
Music.
It was trash. And then Austin De La Hoya is like trash, dude. Everyone's just drunk, like on the
Snoop Dogg's just like smoking weed on camera, just like these, like these girls dancing by him. Just like it was not kid appropriate.
Definitely not.
No,
like
you're
pulling some G's in space.
What?
It sounds like you're pulling G's in space.
What do you mean?
Nothing. No, just kidding. Your camera. You were just like you're frozen. No, you're back. Oh, there you are. Well, maybe it was just me.
It's the hot YouTube lifestyle, dude. Like this is not some sort of kid-friendly experience. I know that Jake Paul and the Pauls and all these people actually make videos for 12-year-olds, even though they're about very adult things, but their audience is 12-year-old.
Oh, really?
Just keep that going, dude. Most of the people that watch like a lot of the YouTube stuff, like of these like very provocative, risque YouTubers.
What the hell were you watching when you were 12?
What I'm saying. Dude, I was watching like movies. I wasn't watching like degenerates put up on a pedestal. Yeah, that's like it's fiction.
Yeah, but you would have if you were born in this time.
Hopefully, I probably could have for sure. But there's a huge difference between fiction that has like a point to it and then just fucking degenerate rich douchebags. Like that's totally different.
What do they do? That's so awful.
Have you ever heard them talk for more than 30 seconds?
I have.
Who am I to judge? They're living the dream, dude. They're having a good life.
Of course, I can have an opinion. I think
they don't really do anything crazy. Like they may be idiots, but they're not like bad guys.
They're bad for culture. They're bad for humanity. If I could, honestly, I wish Chauvin would fucking have met them.
Oh my God.
I wish they were high on fentanyl, getting arrested by Derek Chauvin.
Sean, do you know who's one of the largest pay-per-view draws in the world?
No, I don't.
Jake Paul.
No, I know because his celebrity he's famous for a different reason. Like he's not famous for boxing.
No.
Like they have millions of subscribers. They have a very like loyal fan base.
Get it, baby. I see capitalism, baby. I see guys going out doing something that's outside the norm. Revitalizing, reimagining their brand over and over again. It takes talent and a lot of work ethic. I don't think these dudes are slouches. I think, there's no doubt.
I didn't say they were slouches.
Oh, I think they work.
Yeah, they work a lot. Yeah. It's their whole life.
But it's like, I mean, these guys, you got to think these guys are smarter than what you give them credit for.
Well, they roll cameras.
The older one is.
Well, I'm not saying that they're like the dumbest people on the planet or anything like that, but they roll cameras and they have a teams of people that produce their content. They roll the camera.
They didn't start off like that, Sean.
Yeah, what do you think happened, Sean? They were two guys.
They were
fine.
It was like that within a year. They were fucking huge, dude. No. I know all about the early.
No, they started on Vine.
I know they got started on Vine. A lot of people did. I mean, I don't know.
But they weren't. It wasn't like a year, and they were like had camera people.
I think they were pretty. They did blow up fairly fast. So in a
They
couple
they
years, they
they
were on
started
YouTube.
working for Disney, like Maker Studios, like very quickly.
Yeah, you
Because
got
Maker
people
Studios,
threatening children through Coco Melon.
they,
Terrible time.
but they like because they came up at a time where Maker Studios, like Disney, was getting involved with YouTube, and they were like partnering with tons of people. PewDiePie was one of
Yeah.
them. Like, and they were scooping them up because they're such a huge PR machine.
Yeah.
And the Pauls were definitely the early adopters of that, like that whole
For
movement.
sure.
I tried back in the day. I wanted to, because it was like when Makers was first like nascent. It was like 2010, 2011, and with the Natural Gamers, because we got some like offers from like a network thing for support and whatever, but the deals were always so awful.
Mm-hmm.
So I never took it, but I was like, man, it'd be sweet to get on that Maker money, man. And then you get protections, and they deal with all your copyright bullshit and la da da da. But
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like when I see the Jake Paul guys, like they, especially Logan. Maybe not Jake. Jake is kind of like the one that I would say, yeah, you'd kind of be like, hey, he's kind of, not my style. But Logan, they open Pokemon cards, donate millions of dollars. Like they do good things. Like, I don't think they're like bad.
It's all front. You've bought into the propaganda.
No, I'm just saying.
Now you're simping for the Logan Pauls of the world.
But you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it.
I gotta respect anything. There's a lot of things that are popular that I do not respect.
Yeah, but I'm saying respect their like ability to reinvent themselves. It's like kind of incredible.
What their entrepreneurial behavior?
Yeah,
sure. Bad. If you want to say that like promoting gambling and stuff like that to children is like that's their swag, dude. That's their hustle, baby. Yeah, they got big trouble for it a couple years ago.
Oh well, I mean, not saying mistakes that I made along the way. You're too judgmental, man. Let people make mistakes and live.
They make fucking videos for 10-year-olds where they're like, yeah, dude, this gambling. It's like, oh my god, these blind boxes. This is crazy. I'm getting all this stuff. I got $10,000 from this. Oh shit, dude, gotta put it right back in. Yo, talk to your parents, man. You could get a lot of stuff for this.
I mean, yeah.
Sean, I don't think you give him enough credit.
Yeah. I think you're too judgmental.
No, there's a difference.
How old were when that happened?
Hold on. That was
how old were they when that happened?
2 years ago.
Sean, Jake Paul's 22.
So what? What does that have to do with the price of weed in China? Like, how do you not? You can still like criticize behavior and a team. It's not just them. It's not.
Not until they reach 26 years old.
They're hands off until they're 26 years old. That's just a child. I mean, like, okay, how do you feel about that? What's that Hogg kid? Do you think he's above criticism because he's only 19?
I don't know how old he is.
David Hogg. I
mean, yeah, he may have stupid ideas, but I'm not going to go around like, who gives a shit about him, honestly. But, I mean, he went through something, quote unquote, he went through something traumatic as he rode his bicycle back to the school, after it happened, supposedly. I don't know if that's true. Just FYI.
I've just seen some YouTube videos. They're very convincing.
Yeah. It's like, but David Hogg is completely different from like someone like self-made guys like Jake Paul and Logan.
Why, dude? David Hogg is self-made. He took an opportunity.
There's no argument there. Maybe you're right. Maybe
he elevated himself. Where are all the other people from Parkland? They're not even in the equation anymore. You don't even hear about them at all.
Oh,
David
Sean,
Hogg?
they're all dead. They're dead.
No. No, I think there's a difference between saying like, yeah, they're good at what they do, but and I'm glad. Hopefully, maybe they get out of like they just go be.
Sean, they open Pokemon cards. Logan Paul opens Pokemon cards.
Great credit to humanity.
Bangs hot chicks. I just sounds like jealousy to me.
No.
Mike, you want to go open Pokemon cards and bang hot chicks? I think Mike would say, yeah, if he wasn't married and none of the other things. I know Mike.
Well, I don't know with all this golf behavior he's been talking about. He's edging towards that lifestyle. He's like, yo, you guys like to get high and fucking rip drinks at 8 a.m. and play golf?
I'm not.
I was just wondering if you would do it. That's all.
It's kind of like Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey did a lot of bad. Harvey Weinstein did a lot of bad, but did some good, too.
We all love Good Will Hunting, and credit to him for getting that thing made.
He just jerked off in front of people. It's not a big deal. Give these guys a break. And like, listen, did they scam a couple kids? No,
my criticism is because of their audience, who their material is directed towards. That's what makes it nefarious. It's like
Fine.
who it's
SpongeBob should not be allowed because they use
it. No, it is
FUN.
They are devaluing the innocence of childhood by literally implicating like young kids in like gambling, pornography.
I know, but Sean, why is it their responsibility to who listens?
It's not their responsibility. This is just my criticism of them. I don't care what they do.
So you don't like Little Nas now because of Montero?
Who the fuck is Little Nas? I don't even know who that is.
No. My point
is that the twerking devil dude?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's
Sean. What if our content that we made, we blew up and like a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds were watching what right now? We have no control over who would watch it.
Yeah, but we would not start producing content specifically aimed at them. Like if you can't
think they do that.
Yes, they did. They do. And that's the whole point because that's who fucking buys their shit. That's who clicks on their videos. That's who watches the
I have Maverick Team stuff. You call me 12? No, I don't. I don't have any of that stuff yet.
Yeah. I really like these guys.
I gotta rep, dude. I can't just talk I gotta walk the walk. Hey, dude, listen. I say, like, if you're not trying to scam kids, then you're wasting your fucking time on the internet. Like,
pretty much.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, of course, go buy these loot boxes, you dumb son. Go use your parents' credit card and go do what you gotta do. Like, get me some money.
It's fucking like the Chappelle Show skit with a crackhead. He's like, all you gotta do is go into your mom's purse and steal $100.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, if you're not trying to take advantage of dumb people, which includes kids, and
yeah,
like,
but
what's the whole internet?
Kids like parents to monitor their own children.
Yeah, don't put that on them, Sean.
Don't put it on the Paul brothers. Put it on the parents.
Yeah, Sean, put it on YouTube.
They're team members. They're on a team of awful.
I'll tell you about a team member. His name is Tom Brady and Julian Edelman. Okay, those are team members. Logan Paul and Jake Paul are masterminds. These guys are mechanics of YouTube. They are machine makers and distributors. And if sometimes some people get caught in the crossfire.
Oh, it would be awesome if they created something that won't disappear in 15 years that nobody will ever talk about again.
I don't think care.
They're gonna be remembered for like filming a guy hanging in a suicide forest in Japan. That's what they're gonna be remembered for. Probably.
I think Logan Paul's gonna be relevant for a long time.
You would, Michael. You fucking would.
No, because dude, I don't think do you think PewDiePie will just fade into obscurity?
Well, PewDiePie.
Sean, PewDiePie is so big that he'll be remembered forever.
Yeah, he's
cemented in legacy.
He's not the Paul.
What about Mr. Beast, Sean?
He also creates like content, like actual like edit, like material.
So does Logan Paul.
Requires like a skill, not somebody like them acting like fucking 10-year-olds.
No, Logan Paul has a podcast.
Bro, dude, I was fucking out in that car, dude. You fucking that fucking porn star, bro? Is that what you do?
I think
Logan Paul's not like
it's like if you watched the Joe Rogan Experience and then before everybody talked, they were hit in the face with a fucking sledgehammer. And that's like what it's like watching the Logan Paul show. Because I watched when Alex Jones went on. I watched when Alex Jones goes to these things because it's very funny. But
yes, it is.
Was he on the Andrew Schultz show again?
Yep. No, not again. I don't know if he was again, but
I saw it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that dude, to be honest.
Me neither.
I like Schultz. I don't mind him.
Dan, shut up.
Oh, but Michael, he's good at what he does. Don't you respect the hustle? He was nobody 6 months ago. Don't you respect that?
I think he's funny, honestly.
I don't.
I think it depends. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't.
His Instagram videos, those are pretty funny.
I don't find them funny at all.
Okay, well, Mike, you just, you don't have humor in you. I don't know.
No, I have humor.
You're funny, but not his.
I stepped away from that whole like the comedian podcast scene. I just couldn't do it.
I don't really like it either. They're kind of fucking annoying.
And here we are on a podcast.
No, but Dan, they're like way different. They're like trying to be like experts at like everything. They're like trying to be like fucking Joe Rogan.
Mike, have you listened to our podcast before? We don't know what the hell we're talking about.
But Dan, they're trying to be like the next Joe Rogan.
I'm sorry, Mike, that you want to crush people's dreams. Okay? You want to
crush people? I just don't like them. Okay.
You guys are dream crushers. Hating on the Paul brothers for getting how they're getting.
I wasn't hating on them. I said, hey, I think what they're doing is.
I cannot believe that you guys are over there simping for the Pauls. Like it's so.
I'm not simping.
That was a simp, boys.
Sean, there are peers. There are peers on YouTube. You know, we need to put respect where it's deserved.
You know, someday we should just start doing like the Paul brothers type videos and talk about just specifically aimed at children. Be like, yo, dude, you gotta get this fucking ice cream cone, dude.
Okay.
Fucking get these new boxes. I hope it's still frozen when it gets to your
house.
They
don't do stuff like that.
They do.
Well, okay, maybe they did. I don't know. Sean, people make mistakes.
I see them in more like they're in like a podcast now more.
Yeah, because everybody does a podcast now because it's the easiest thing to do.
I know, but that's what they do. So they're not like promoting and like trying to sell like gumdrops.
Like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure they got sponsors and shit.
Well, they got like sponsors, but they're not like, hey, go buy these gumdrops for $2.99 and take your mom's credit card.
I hope we do something obnoxious enough and disgusting enough that somebody will make us go viral. That's all we can hope for.
That's all we can hope for. That's the dream, Dan. That's the dream.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just saying, like, and then if somebody goes, oh my God, did you hear about them zoo box guys? Did you hear about them?
And they'll be entitled to the people, Dan. People probably already say that.
No, they're
like, you got 309 subscribers, and half of them probably hate watch us, and they're like, just like, fuck these guys, dude.
No, I think right now these are the true followers. You know, we got Maverick Buckley on there, dude. You know, he's out there, man. Maverick's out there, still listening in the UK and the oppressive lockdown, where they are bored.
Hey, do we have any people that we didn't know before?
Yes, a lot, most of them.
That are like giant fans though.
That we got. Yeah, like Maverick's a good guy. Fractal Curve is an awesome guy. Squibbles is great.
And
we have some newer ones.
No, I didn't. Can we live stream on YouTube?
Mid-May. That's when we'll probably bring back Zoobox Live for that, because that's going to be back on YouTube, because we need something. We need something over there to live stream. We can do random stuff, but I think for my
you gotta stop antagonizing religious groups.
I guess so. Yeah, because Mike, you know, the Abraham, he came after me.
Yeah, Dude, you know, awesome.
But and he wouldn't release the fucking thing, and I was like, and if I do a counterclaim, I could get our entire channel deleted. It was just like,
you should have took the chance.
I probably should have, but
you know what, Sean? You're just like the church, Sean.
No. The problem was
I'm afraid of the mob.
They removed the video, so I couldn't go back and see, like, did I actually violate the copyright? Like, because I didn't have a hard copy on my computer, because it was before I was doing that, and I was just like, did I like not talk enough or some stupid semantic thing? I couldn't look at it because the YouTube just immediately deleted it. You're just like, you don't even give me a chance to cut it out or something. I could go just remove. It was like, I guarantee you, it was like 5 minutes of a 4-hour thing I did.
Holy crap!
Because I remember doing it, and I remember being like, well, this is not what I thought it was. I guess I'm moving on.
Wow, that's a long time to be on there.
Yeah, piece of shit, dude. Piece of shit, Abraham, motherfucker.
Hey, Dan, give us an update on your PlayStation.
Update on my PlayStation?
Yeah, how is that fucker?
Let me see.
That dumb gay bastard. How is it?
Did you put it in, I got the white version, so I can't put it in jail yet.
Shit. Now you can't.
No, but how is it? Are you glad that you pre-ordered it?
Yeah, I'm glad I got it. I get all the latest update, new games. You guys are all in the past. I'm living in the future. It makes me feel superior to everybody that doesn't have one, honestly. And I'm like, how's the PS4, bro? How's that? When Sean and I were sitting in his living room, right? I'm like 3 minutes on a loading screen. I'm like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah,
but you can't play with everybody. You can't play with Ryan and Sean.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
yes, I can.
Yeah, for anything that's cross-gen, you can still do multiplayer.
Yeah, I can.
So do you guys play a lot?
No.
I play with Solomon sometimes, and I play with Ryan every now. Ryan's been more PCing it up, But no, if do I think it's worth the money? Especially by the time like it's fully being able to be sold in stores, yeah, it would definitely be worth the money because more games will be out. There will be better, experience. I think overall there was a few bugs in the beginning. The games had some issues. It's a new system and they couldn't test it as good. But the heating, quiet as a mouse, it's super reliable. I've never really had any true issues with it. Some internet issues, but I don't know if that's just not that might just be my internet at home.
Well, and you use it also as like your media box too. So like you watch movies and stuff, right? Like you stream stuff from it. So
yeah, I do that.
What's that?
You don't do that, Sean?
No, because Dan has a smart TV too. He just didn't have it set up. But like I have a smart TV for most things, and then I have like Roku's in my other rooms, and I have like a Google Chromecast. So if there's like one of the apps I can't get on my smart TV, I just use my phone and I cast it to the television.
The only thing I'm keeping is HBO Max. I think I'm getting rid of everything else.
Probably a good move. I would. That's what I think we were talking about this last week. I think, but I would do the same thing. I would get rid of everything except HBO Max and the Criterion channel. I'd probably keep those.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I just realized, I was like, I want to get a new fence in my backyard, and I was like, that's $1,000 a year, basically, right?
Yeah, true.
And I could probably build a new fence for a couple grand, maybe $3,000. Especially if I do it myself, just with all the parts and materials. I don't know.
It probably wouldn't even be that much if you did it yourself.
Dude, lumber's expensive, dude. Lumber is
maybe.
expensive. Yeah. $9 for a 2x4. My God.
How do you know these prices?
I went to Lowe's because I was looking at building a fence. I want to put a higher fence on my right side of my house.
You want to do a 6 foot?
Yeah,
privacy fence.
Yeah, privacy fence.
I can't see
like
my backyard.
$42 for a slat, and then you got to buy the 4x4.
Yeah, so like that's probably. I imagine I would need.
How many feet do you need?
Like I don't know right now.
I can tell you. We'll guess.
Shut up, handyman! You fucking Logan Paul simp.
20, 60. I would say at least 150 feet. 100.
You have 150 feet of lawn that you want to fence in.
I don't know, maybe 100. Let's say 100.
150 is quite far.
Well, like I have a corner, like that's like 15 feet, then it goes down. Like I have a pretty decent size, like space.
Sean, do you think it's that much?
I'm talking from corner to corner.
It's pretty big,
all the way around.
Like,
you're gonna do a whole 4? Yeah, we don't do it in the front yard.
No, just in his backyard. But it's like the way the fence would have to be. It takes up a lot of space.
So how many feet do you think it would be?
Like square foot, or just like how many feet of fence?
Just a linear footage.
20, 40, 60, 80 maybe?
Yeah,
okay,
80?
I'll do 100.
Like 80 feet of fence?
Yeah, I would say that.
Or maybe more.
But you got to take out the garage. You got to take out the garage.
I was taking out the garage.
Me too. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking
how many?
Too.
I would say 100. Yeah, go 100.
What you got, Mike? This is Dicker. Can I dicker for these prices? You gonna be able to dicker with me, bro? I feel like I'm in a horror movie or something.
Hold on, Dan. I'm gonna get it for you, okay?
Okay, bud.
I don't know how much a 4x4 is right now.
I know a 2x4 is $9.
Let's just say it's $12. Yeah, we'll just go. So Dan, you're looking at like 4,700 in material.
Yeah.
If it's 100 feet.
I don't know, Mike. You never come and visit me, so I don't know. Actually, I'll video it. Like, or you can like see. I might be less than that, dude. I don't know.
Let me see something. I have the prices here.
Again, he's a little dicker in his handyman rule book. Are you using like Blue Clues when you go to people's house, like you try to solve a mystery and shit?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'd have to see your yard. I don't think that price is right. I may be. I'll have to look at prices.
I'm hurting because the guy told me for my yard he told me like $1,500 to $1,700 like easily, just because of the lumber, and then I have to get a door.
Yeah, I don't think my prices are right on lumber.
I was like, high. I hope that's not true. But that's what I was looking at. I was like, hey, if I want to do some work on the house, just every little bit extra can help. So I would like to do a fence on the back, like a privacy fence, so at least I can pee out in
It would
private.
add value to your house too.
Why did you add one?
What?
Do you have one?
I have half, like on one side I have a privacy fence, on the other side I do not.
Are you gonna put it up?
I would like to, man, but it'd be kind of expensive. You know, it's just money. It's just like how much money. So what we did was we got one of these kind of like pull out things, like privacy things.
Okay.
And I have to like fucking figure out a way to install it where it's like actually taut in our yard. But yeah, so we've made our own little thing. What?
What are you
teaching it? To fucking
privacy.
Stand up straight.
You tell it your deepest, darkest secrets. Like, you better keep that to yourself.
You better fucking chill, man. You better fucking chill.
You're my privacy fence.
Nobody knows this but us.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I masturbate on my back patio.
Yeah.
That's between you and me. Late at night, had too many drinks, too drunk to go inside.
Too much Delta 8.
Too much Delta 8.
Delta 6, you know what I'm saying?
Now we got this patio furniture in the back. Oh, man. It's
I can't wait to get some patio furniture.
I need to get some eventually.
We found some, actually, that was the set we got was pretty cheap. It was like $179
in the fall?
4 pieces.
When did you get it?
Like last week.
Oh, wow. I'm buying mine in the fall.
Yeah, because the prices go down?
Yeah, there'll be a bunch of discount.
Not in this America, buddy.
No, they will
just going up.
No.
Everything's going up. Buy now. Your dollar's not going to be worth dog shit.
You think I should do that?
No. I mean, if you find a good deal. We found a good deal. We thought, a 4-piece for $179. It came with a kind of like a love seat, 2 chairs, and a glass table.
Wow, that's nice.
Table with glass topper.
Absolutely.
All that kind of shit is so fucking. I hate it. Like, I feel like I guess this is like just my immaturity, but I start like cringing when I think about like spending money on like furniture and stuff.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm like, a bed to sleep on? I can be uncomfortable.
Honestly, though, I tell you, dude, like I'm so like that was one of the better things of having somebody like Sarah in my life, because it's just like she's like, no, we need a bed, and now I'm like, awesome, this is so much, this is so worth it. Worth every fucking penny.
That's not kind of how I am.
On Anna's old bed, I'm sleeping on this thing. I'm like, God damn. This thing is nice. Gotta look at what bed it is. It's a nice bed. I'm sinking in it a little bit, but it's too soft for me. But I feel like I'm sleeping in pudding or something. I'm like, oh, but it is what it is, man. It is. I feel like
all I'm saying is like it changes your life. You just feel better.
Just like Logan Paul offering fucking booster packs or the battle packs or whatever. He's just offering them an experience, Sean.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like until you have it. You don't know. And sometimes
until you have that kind of power over children, you cannot judge. You cannot stand in judgment. These young boys, these young entrepreneurs, you want to just throw them in the dirt.
Yeah, dude. It's just like, dude, you just can't be salty at these guys. Let them live their lives,
It's not salt.
Let them live, dude. Let the quartering, let Jeremy do his thing. Let him go. Let it go. Let him go.
Fine. Jeremy's fine.
Let Tim Pool go. Let him
go. No, Tim Pool aggravated me.
I know he did.
I'm gonna dox him.
Oh my God.
I think people know where he lives. I think it's like, well, I'm not expecting Tim Pool to be right. Like, that's never go into these things like expecting any of these people to ever be like, whether I watch Viva Frey and Robert Barnes or Ricada, like I just don't. Like, anybody could have been right about this case. There was no way to know exactly which way.
No, I know that, but I think that there's like a difference between like getting kind of being very online and very caught up in that stuff, which I think some of those people are. Like, they just don't have. Just their entire world revolves around like online stuff and the online chatter, because that's their job. That's what they report on, right? So you can get kind of in a little bit of a bubble. And you can be, and that's something that could happen to anybody over time.
And they always find a story.
Well, if you listen to Alan Dershowitz, who's like a legal scholar who worked at Harvard or wherever, he was like professor at Harvard Law School. He was even saying the prosecution was dropping the ball in a lot of areas, and it's because they were. Because like I don't think like we've already just for us, I think 3 have determined that this is not necessarily an accurate representation of what happened in the courtroom.
Well, I don't know what happened, honestly. The last thing
people can make mistakes because they actually have too professional of an opinion. Like you really have to think about what it's like to be a jury member and the circumstances of what you're being presented with, how people are going to be viscerally impacted by things.
I recommend
that changes the game. Yeah, Robert Barnes is usually pretty good. Viva Frey's very even keeled person.
Yeah.
Rekieta Law is actually, I really enjoy his stuff. Usually it's too long because they're fucking like 5-hour live streams and stuff. But
welcome to the club, huh? Welcome to the club.
I only do like 2 hours. I like to keep it no more than 3. And you got to give people a reasonable amount of content. But
all right, Mike. What's your
with the George Floyd case?
Yes.
So I only know from what happened way back when. And the officer, and then I heard something that he was on drugs, but that was a lie, and then that was true, and then that's all I know.
The biggest thing is that he die from asphyxia?
Then what did he die from?
No, he did. They're saying he did. They are saying he did die from asphyxia, but they're not saying that it was necessarily that. The biggest problem, which I think Robert Barnes was really clear on, he goes, when you hear a medical professional say without a doubt that something happened, when there's so many circumstances and events to all, he's like, that's not an honest witness or honest person. So, and the defense actually called him out on it quite a few times, and they kind of got in there. But basically, he had 3 times the lethal dose of fentanyl for your average person. Doesn't mean it was for him, but for an average person, 60 nanograms of like meth. Like there was all these things in the system. And
those high numbers?
Yes.
For an average person, those are high numbers. George Floyd's a big dude. Also, he had an enlarged heart, if I'm not mistaken, which they say is a contributing factor. Heart disease.
Was proven. No, they got an expert in there. That's not true. I guess.
Okay.
That's what they.
If you say so, I believe you.
That's what we're hearing. He because they asked one of the prosecutions experts asked her, they said, so if you found George Floyd in his home without any of this, what do you think he would have died from? And they said overdose or heart disease or some sort of heart issue.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, even the doctor, once again, for the prosecution said, what is the main cause of death when it comes to fentanyl? And they said asphyxiation, because what happens is your chest cavity tightens up to the point where your lungs can't expand, and it restricts your breathing, and then you go unconscious and you die. And then he said that is the sole reason why people die. So I do not, in that, I'm not saying manslaughter wasn't on the table, but second degree, oh my God, third degree, no. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's honestly, the whole thing is just one of the, it's a very like crazy, subtle nuance. Like the way your people are going to look at it really had to depended on like what narrative they decided to buy into. And I guess the prosecutors just, because the prosecution is very just emotionally driven. Like that was their whole case. You just watch the video, and the video in a vacuum looks horrific. Yeah, you have somebody calling out for their mother. You have somebody saying they can't breathe. Like there's all this stuff, even though like when you get more information, because that's what we all responded to back when it happened. But like the more information came out, the more context, the more video you saw, like it did change. It changed that story. Like, and
not to mention one of the prosecution's experts for use of force even said that Chauvin was justified in using more force in the beginning. And Chauvin actually restrained himself from tasing George Floyd.
Well, here's the thing, dude. If you're trying to arrest somebody and they won't let you arrest them, what the fuck are you supposed to do?
Well, the thing is, I mean,
like, the guy wouldn't stay in the fucking car. Like, what are you supposed to do? And then you take him out to give him what he's asking for. And then, and then what happens. Like it's just the whole situation was just fucked. But
like, I don't think people realize how rare it is to die in that position just under normal circumstances. It's very rare to be dying in the prone position from that. It's the only times I've ever, like, I tried to do some research on it. It's very rare. It's super rare. And then usually people are high on something like cocaine or like that's a famous one. And that was way more disingenuous. Like they would be way meaner to that guy, and he was just white. Mm-hmm. And it's all on body cam, and no one cared. So, Get ready for the race war. Buckle up.
Stop.
I'm on Team Red. You'll be on Team Blue.
Wait, but what do you think the doc series it's gonna pitch it as? What side?
Oh, it's 100% going to be from George Floyd's perspective of being murdered. Yeah. Like, that's what they're going to do.
And who's going to make the first one? Netflix?
There are probably already in a race between HBO Max and Netflix. I mean, HBO Max seems to get them out quick, though. They're like, we got to set this narrative now. Like, almost like they're part of working for the intelligence community. It's just the most disappointing thing. Every news outlet, every fucking studio, they're all like propaganda wings now. And in the most overt way. It's just such a fucking bummer. But
have you ever seen the Comey Rule?
Can't even ever see that shit. There's an episode of Zoobox Goes to the Movies all about it, folks. You can check it out. Dan and I talked for about an hour.
So trash, dude. I actually had someone in my life bring that up today, but I'm gonna keep their name out of my mouth right now.
What? Bring up what?
How that was like a reason they didn't like Trump or something.
Okay. Yeah, well, they said, "Did you see the Comey Rule?"
And I was like, "Actually, I did."
Wait, you think that stuff what happened was right? You see him eating that ice cream? Guy, he's like a pig.
Nah. But hey, dude, like I can't blame anybody. The Comey Rule is a fantastic piece of film, and everyone should watch it. Jeff Daniels.
Oh, that shit was so hilarious. It's a funny movie. I'll say that. It's a funny miniseries.
No, there's only one reason it's funny, because there are people watching it going, I fucking knew it.
Dude, they're coming. Yeah, like they're coming. Yeah. It's like porn to them. It was like, oh my God. It's just like, it was actually because you've been really into Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. It was like somebody said this, I can't remember who, but they're like, James Comey thinks he's Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
That was me.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been you. I'm in your head. I live rent free, Sean. Okay. In your head. That was my thing. That was oh my God, I connected with you on a deeper level than you even knew. We touched tips. But yeah, dude. I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting few weeks. Guys, if we're a little late next week, or there's some weird time for these next couple drops, just make sure it's not on purpose. Sean's usually pretty good about putting them out at the same time. He'll just load them. Or whatever,
this one's just going to go up tonight just because it's
right
because of the show and stuff. But
just the early late episode. This is
well, this is the early episode. We will have something out next week before we go to the wedding. We'll record something, whether or not Michael is able to make it, but we'll do something.
Yeah,
something will happen. And then by the time then once Dan gets back home and we'll get back on YouTube, we'll start up the Zoobox Live Nightcap. We're still doing that on Monday nights, and then whatever random other shit we do. Zoobox Goes to the Movies this week. I just finished editing it today. Blade trilogy coming out Tuesday.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah. Oh, and also Michael, we got a lot of good feedback on our Crocodile Dundee 2 review.
No, we did not.
We did. Oh, you should go check out the video, dude. I edited a bunch of stuff into it.
Oh, okay.
I started putting clips. There's some fun jokes in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to give it a watch myself.
Yeah. So this should be good. And I think that's an episode, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to know more about Zoobox, there's a bunch of links in the description for Facebook, for Instagram, for my Twitter, for Dan's Twitter, for our D Live page, for our Twitch page, for our other YouTube page. All that sorts of stuff.
Just go to www.racewar.com to sign up for your sign for what side you're going to be on. We're not necessarily doing a racial profile, but we're not doing racial. It's more going to be about America versus communism. So we're just going to call it the race war, the race to the finish, the race to bringing liberty back to America. So come on in.
Race to the bottom.
Lance Armstrong is going to be our expert that we have on our side. And they're going to have Neil Armstrong because he's dead.
Lance Armstrong just comes in. He's like, listen, guys, you got to get rid of your balls. Those things, they affect your wind resistance. You got to get rid of them.
It's a bunch of giant leg hairless freaks. That's what we'll all be.
All right, everybody. Let us know in the comments what you think. What do you think is going on in the world? What do you think of the Chauvin trial? What do you think of anything we've said? What do you think about the Pauls? I want to know. People out there, were you as disgusted as I was with these fucking simps? These fucking millennial simps. These fucking Gen X pieces of shit. No, Gen Z.
Yeah,
Are you guys millennials? I don't even know.
Yes.
But anyways,
everybody. You're a millennial too. Shut the hell up.
No, I know I am, but I'm like an old millennial. Like
no, Sean, you're still a millennial. You're with us.
Yeah, but I'm like old millennial. Like I'm on the edge.
Sean,
I was raised as a Gen Xer though.
Sean, if anything, you're more responsible for the place America is right now. So shut the hell up.
No, you're right in there with us.
Yeah, it's 6 years on us, man. What have you done? What's happening?
Hey, but you know what the best thing is? Is when a Gen S, when a millennial is when they think they're something else, like they think they're the Generation X, but they're actually a millennial.
Like you, Sean.
And then you tell them, and then they're like,
they get defensive.
No, I was born 9 months. No. Actually, you see,
very complicated. There's a lot of math involved. Listen,
yeah.
Now you sound like this is exactly how you sounded when I was talking about Logan Paul. Good night, everybody.